Good morning, students. Hope you are all fine, staying indoors and utilizing this quarantine period in studying. Remember, this is your board class. So, utilize these holidays in preparing for your boards. Today, I'm going to take your first literature class and I will be beginning with short stories. So, the very first story which we are going to do in your 10th standard syllabus is The Little Match Girl, written by Hans Christian Andersen. Now, this is a story about a poor little girl who stays with her father, and her father is so strict that he sends her to send matches in the cold winter days. Now, this story is set in a small town in Denmark, and the season is Christmas season. This is the last day of the year and it is a New Year Eve. The story begins, it was bitterly cold, snow was falling and darkness was gathering. So on such a cold day, the little girl, who was so poor that she was bareheaded and barefoot almost, and she was stranded and moving here and there to sell the matches. She had been wearing slippers, but what happened? When she was going through a road, two carriages came at a very fast speed and she had to save herself. In order to save herself, both the slippers fell out of her feet. One slipper she could not find at all. And another slipper she saw that a boy picked it up and he took along with him, saying that he will use that slipper as a cradle someday when his own children will be there. You know what is a cradle? Palna. So he just took it that. Now the little girl was roaming. She was feeling very cold. At the same time, she was feeling very hungry. She was roaming here and there, and then she thought of settling down somewhere. So she huddled in a heap in a corner formed by two houses and sat there in order to take rest. Now she did not go back home. Why? Three reasons. Number one, she had sold no matches and earned not a single penny. She could not sell a single match that day, number one. Number two, her father would be sure to beat her. Since she had not sold any of the match, she was sure that her father, being very cruel and ruthless, would be beating her for getting no sales. And number three, it was very cold at home, for they had nothing but the roof above them and the wind whistled through that. So it was a very poor house. It could hardly contain her to give the warmth. So she sat there outside in the street and tried to take some rest and to do something so that she could quench her hunger and thirst. But there was nothing she could do. So she dared, look at the word, if she dared to pull just one small match, she thought that she should at least light one matchstick to give herself warmth. Now when she lights her first matchstick, from there onwards, we are going to read that she visualizes 4 dreams in 4 different matchsticks. When she lights the first matchstick, she sees a dream, the word is used dream or vision. The first dream which she sees is of a great iron stove with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. These things she saw in the first dream when the first matchstick was lit. But you know how long the matchstick is? When the match was fully burnt out, the match burnt out and the dream got finished. Now again she was feeling cold, so she lit another match. Next paragraph is the second dream which she saw. What did she see in it? She saw, mark the textual words, shining white cloth spread on the table, number 1. Then the table was covered with beautiful china. China means good crockery. And then on the table there was a roast goose, the non-veg item, stuffed with prunes. Prunes are the dry fruits, and apples, and it steamed delicious. She was so hungry that she saw in her dream, it appeared to her that the goose jumped out of the bowl and it came towards her with a knife and fork at its back. So this vision shows her hunger. And very soon the second match also burnt out. Now she burned the third matchstick. When she burned the third matchstick, she saw a beautiful Christmas tree. And this tree was larger and lovelier than the tree which she had seen last year. Now on the tree there were all sorts of decorations which looked beautiful. The candles on the tree were lit up and slowly they went up in the sky. As they went up, it turned into bright stars. And one of the stars fell from the sky. Now she remembered her grandmother who was dead. Her grandmother had told her that when a star falls, a soul goes up to God. So she thinks that somebody must have died. Now she was feeling cold, so she lit the fourth match. Now when she lit the fourth match, there was light again, and in this fourth dream she saw her grandmother. Remember the textual words used for the grandmother: bright, shining, gentle, kind, loving, beautiful and stately. So when she saw her grandmother, she became very happy and she told her to take her along with her to heaven. But she knew very well that when the light will go away, her grandmother would disappear. So she lighted all the matches together to prolong the light and to keep her grandmother along with her. So the grandmother also realized the condition of her granddaughter, and so she took her in her hands and flew up beyond cold and hunger to heaven. This is the stage when the little girl dies of hunger and coldness, and she feels that her grandmother has taken her along to God. So next morning, the people found at the corner formed by two houses the little girl with a smiling face frozen to death. She was holding the matches. People thought that she died of cold and hunger. But the smile on her face is because she is leaving this world of pain, misery and cold, and she hopes for a better life in heaven. So it is a happy ending for the little girl because she has become one with her grandmother. So this is the story. I hope you have understood it. So my advice to you is, first read the story from the book itself, then go through the workbook and try to solve all the questions. Bye bye for this lesson. Stay home, stay safe.